We're just halfway through the season. Let's talk about the visitors here. Mamelodi Sundowns.
Especially knowing that Hoto and Sbilibili, they will forever find themselves in higher spaces, and maybe just to counter press as well when Mamelodi Sundowns are trying to build from the back. But the three up front regular starters recently with Mputuma being very, very productive inside the box.
Mamelodi Sundowns has already scored twice as a Colombian recruit. So
a little bit of dynamism as well with Adams, Morena, maybe Mudiba as well. But I guess what brings Santos into the team, that creativity that they're going to need with those passes that maybe Matthews might be the one.
Taking it all in his stride. He knows very well about the pressure that comes with his jobs. His man worked in North Africa. He knows all about the pressure, and it builds up with every match. This is a game
against the Orlando Pirates that they need to win this game.
Look at how Sundowns lined up there for that kickoff. All of them on the halfway line there. What's the thinking behind that kick on Matisse?
I'll be lying to say I know what's the thinking behind it.
At this level, when we play against the teams of the quality of Orlando Pirates. Oh my word! Talk about improvisation there from Norman Williams. Jeez, that was almost a terrible mistake by Grant Kekana.
It was indeed. I mean, look at the ball that has been played by Siema. Hoto just, winning the ball inside the box. Yes, Grant Kekana trying to clear, but it wasn't clear enough. But look at Hoto reacting with his right foot, but save there from making this from an injury. He understands his role very well.
Could be Chance Mputuma did it very well there. Maswanganyi almost letting in the perfect pass for Sbilibili.
That's why Sbilibili is in this team. Look at where he is. When the Orlando Pirates are in possession of the ball, he gets into those areas. That's why he is in
away with the Tashrik. Matthews showed too much of it, and Sbilibili wins the ball. Apollos. That's a great ball, Apollos! And another stunning save from Ronwin Williams. Well, this one came straight at him, though. But Ronwin Williams, and he's already made another as well. Now, the other end. It's good work. Good work defense. Gamani, formerly of TS Galaxy, was teammates with Sbilibili. So he's good to go. Is Lebona Siema having a very good season. So I think we'll be pleased with what he's seen so far from his side, barring one or two mistakes there at the back.
I'm sure with those two chances that the Orlando Pirates had, maybe can be a little bit of a concern, especially early on to the game like this. But as things stand, you can see that there's not two teams, two teams that are really, every little mistake maybe might be punished, but things are going to be equal. I think the most battle is going to be who then is going to be doing those overloads on the side, which we see Orlando Pirates are trying to do so.
Otto. In the Mufukeng scored an absolute beauty of a goal against Marumo Gallants. Just the type of goal that he has scored so many times. Now showing his pace, there's Morena. Double teamed there. Then losing possession. Free kick will go the way of Orlando Pirates here. Pirates beat Sundowns 2-1 in the corresponding fixture last season. It ended a 10-match winless run against the Buccaneers in the premiership. That was the first win over Sundowns at home since the 2019-20 season. As the skipper, Rosnatis Basic. Looking for Sbilibili there. Tashrik Matthews gets a toe on it just as Apollos was about to pounce on it. Winner gets the free kick. It's just being held back.
It just shows just shows you, TT, that the counter press that Orlando Pirates has been implementing in their games this season. So with two teams knowing how to counter press, it's going to be little time being given to the midfielders to be able to think. So you need to be able to think a little bit quicker and make a decision faster.
Just nipped the ball behind there, did Apollos. Was something promising there for Pirates. Sundowns come away with it. Pirates with this fantastic record here at the Orlando Stadium. They have won, they played 8 matches and won 7 and lost just the one game. Haven't drawn at home yet. The one team that came away with points from the Orlando Stadium was Kukune United much earlier in the season. It was in August when Kukune won here, going to nil. And it was Pirates got off to a rather stuttering start, losing their first 2 matches, and then of course with a new man in charge, there were a few alarm bells going off. Well, which way the season might go, but my goodness, how they've turned things around.
Also, I think at that time as well, it was a lot of new players being given an opportunity to play. I guess maybe one of the reasons of complaining was why fix it when it's not broken? Because you're from a good season with all the players that are playing under Coach Rivera, and then new season, you're struggling, you've got all 8 to 7 players that are new, so that was a big concern. But look at where they are right now, with still all those new players being the one that commands the regular starting bid.
Absolutely. Abdeslam Wadu has certainly been vindicated for trusting his principles and backing the players that he's brought in. They have all really impressed in their first season. Likes of Apollos, Mtache, and Siema. Mentioned Mollis already.
And the most improved one, the Tuma right now.
Tuma has been fantastic, actually, Player who had to do so much on his own. He's always been a hard worker. Even at Richards Bay, he worked hard because he needed support. Let's see what Sundowns can do here. A rare foray into the box of Orlando Pirates. Spacey tidies up, keeping Brian Leon out. This Colombian.
It's one of those players, Leon, that will make the runs over the shoulder. So he needs to be tracked. You can see he makes that run just behind Siema. Good defensive work there from CBC to be able to read that run and be just a little bit closer so that you don't allow Leon to be able to turn in that box.
Leon scored over the weekend against CLJ. As the ball comes in, good catch and good confident, strong catch from Sipo Chain, who then runs into Leon. Gionato. Gamani. By the way, there is another match underway this evening. Stellenbosch are taking on Makesi at home. They're at home to Makesi in a match that is at the other end of the table. We've got a top of the table clash here. That one involves teams that are in a relegation scrap. Bottom of the table, Makesi visiting Stellies, who are slowly trying to work their way up the table as Mutiba gets a little bump in the back from Yentajela. But referee says it's a contact sport.
There's a lot of work that's going to be done by Namtimjela and Makaul in that midfield to be able to cover those overlapping runs that will be done by Mudau, Morena, and Mudibo on this side.
Yentajela, Sipo Chain. Scooters boot through it. Now space, a little bit of space opening up here for Apollos offside. Both Mutuma and Relemo Fouquet were strayed offside. Fouquet now on 3 goals for the season. said, Mofokeng seemingly is rediscovering his best form. Scored in his last 3 matches, so looking to make it 4 goals in 4 matches. This is good from Santos as he looked to a good work from Makaula. Just managed to get the touch there, get the ball away from Santos, who will be the man they'll look to be the creative force here, Nuno Santos. And I must say though, Mamelodi Sundowns, watching them recently, they've lacked that creative spark, what a Themba Zwane used to bring or brings to the side, you know. They missed Nuno Santos in a couple of games that he was suspended in the Champions League. And they do have Themba, they did have Themba Zwane, of course, weekend. And should he be called upon, he is available on the bench again tonight. It's Bilibi. Mofokeng coming deep. He's fouled. Bit of a needless foul there from Aubrey Mudiba. Could easily have been cautioned for that.
Just shows you this type of game, TT, there's no way that you can put your emotions on the side. It is one of those games, especially knowing and understanding what it means for both teams in terms of the lock standing. It's always going to be those unnecessary fouls, and look at where also Mudiba finds himself.
The difficult pass there for Makaula to deal with, but and Sundowns have won the ball. Santos, Mudiba. This pass is intercepted. Good work from Pirates here, playing their way out of trouble. Nicely done. There's going to be a caution here. Timo Mokoena becomes the second player into the book. Very good work from Orlando Pirates to win the ball back and try and play their way out of trouble here. Did well here, Maswanganyi.
Indeed, and that was the first foul, but you can see the attitude that he has, still trying to stand up and still trying to continue with the play, because you can see that there is space that he can actually get into, and then that forced then Tebo Mokoena then to bring him down.
Noticed he was aware that Maswanganyi was getting away from him and decided to take illegal action against him. Here is Maswanganyi, can't get it past Damani. Jaden Adams. So what the idea was there was trying to slip it through for Tashrik Matthews. Jaden Adams is another one who looks like he's also starting to find a little bit of form as a polish. He's surrounded by yellow shirts.
I was thinking it was a good touch, but he turned the wrong way. And I think he had an opportunity just to go where he was facing. Maybe the game or the opposition, they would have opened a little bit of, but good recovery work been done by Mamelodi Sundowns, understanding the danger that Apollos possess.
When Apollos, who of course last season was with Polokwane City. Polokwane City. Let's see what they can do here. Now Rele Mofokeng cruises into the box and snapshot, but no real power from Dion Otto.
Spoke about the overloads from the sides. The reason why Hoto is on the pitch, the reason why Sibilibili is on the pitch. Look at where he finds himself with an overload to where he really has the ball, finds himself in the right area. That is Hoto, being able to have that snapshot that didn't trouble much Ronan Williams. But they are those type of overloads. They are the number of players of Orlando Pirates aiding going forward, and he becomes such an important player. That is Hoto.
Dion Otto. He's now into his 12th season in South African football, having arrived here, been signed by Lamont for Golden Arrows. Since gone on to play for Bloemfontein Celtic. Oh, mistake here, could be problems. Ryan goes down under the challenge. Referee waves play on. I think good recovery from Orlando Pirates. Now they can hit on the break here. King on the overlap is Otto. Can he get a cross in? He does, but it's a confident Ronwen Williams tonight. In the bright orange, mashing the seats here at F&B Stadium. Let's see what happens to Misty. This is a challenge on something that was much in that at all. Back live. Simple chain. Gets it away and manages to find Willem King. Anxious looking faces behind Miguel Cardoso there. Also on the bench there, Peter Shalulile, the man who's got the most goals against the Orlando Pirates of the current crop of players. All-time leading scorer in this fixture, Daniel Mambush Budau, 12 goals. Certainly was prolific in his day, was Daniel Budau.
I'm sure in such games, I'm sure we'll see Peter Shalulile maybe, making his cameo, because the last time these two met each other, he was the one that scored that goal.
Indeed. Half an hour gone. Still Pirates nil. Mamelodi Sundowns nil in this marquee fixture in the Betway Premiership. Elsewhere, it is also still 0-0. Stellenbosch FC against Makesi. 0-0 there. Looking at the position stats there. Mudiba, space for finds Tasha Matthews in a bit of space. Sundowns look to slow things down a little bit now. It was a feature of Sundowns' game in the past was their patient build-ups. They like to rotate the ball and break down opponents via 1,000 cuts, death by 1,000 cuts, they say. But it's a very different Sundowns side these days. Now, what would you say for you, Tugomadis, has been different about Mamelodi Sundowns this season? Or maybe in the last two seasons under Miguel Cardoso? What's the most significant difference for you?
I think one, of course, there's two different coaches with maybe two different beliefs, but still want to win a football match by also being dominant on the ball, but approaching it differently. With Rulani, you'll see emphasizes on pockets, on triangles, on overloads. Maybe with the coach Cardoso is finding those overloads, but yet again, when there is a run forward, you need to play the ball a little bit quicker, be able to unleash Leon Matthews as well. That's why, because the type of characteristic that Matthews has, we never saw in coach Rulani for his teams, because they emphasize on passing.
This is good as Kuriso Mudau, great recovery from Kuriso Mudau. He's the best in the business, one of the best, if not the best in the business when it comes to those situations.
Yeah, 1v1 situations is always difficult. And I remember as well, when I was a winger, playing against such players, it just plays in your mind even before the game, like, how am I going to beat this guy? And already they put one up against you, so that's very, very difficult.
Santos. Tewumkwena. Not a bad turnout at all here at the F&B Stadium for a Wednesday night.
We love seeing when we witness beautiful football, great results. We coming out in numbers to actually support our teams.
And the one thing about Orlando Pirates, they have sure entertained their fans this season. They have made the Orlando Stadium a fortress. I was quoting you their numbers of like only losing one match at home, only dropping points in one match at home this season, and that's not this home. I'm talking about the Amstel Arena. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that. Yeah. Now, it's not, Tashik Matthews, it's not unusual for great rivals to share a ground, to share a stadium. You know, famously in Italy, Inter Milan and AC Milan share the San Siro. It's not something that you find happening a lot, though. There's always been, when Sundowns wanted to use the stadium here for a home game in the Club Champions League, there was all kinds of strife in that one about which dressing room they ended up using. I'm told that tonight they were given the Kaizer Chiefs dressing room. That's normally the home dressing room. By the way, we have a goal tonight in the other match. Stellies have taken the lead. Kevin Hunter looks to be turning things around out there. Got a big win as well in the Nedbank Cup, didn't he? Because Aubrey Modiba goes in on Billy. Good tackle, good clean tackle.
You want to see, that's why Coach Kabil is uploading that, you want to see that type of aggression. Because also that tells you a lot about the mentality that your players have on the day of the game. You don't want to lose. You also, you want to fight for the ball back, and once you have the ball, you also want to run a little bit more just to create enough space. And those are the type of game temperament that you're expecting from these two teams.
Yeah, well, Mamelodi Sundowns are going to have to show their pedigree here in terms of the players who have got experience of playing these type of games. Not against a big opponent, but when a lot is at stake. And tonight is one such game.
Yeah. And they're from one again, over the weekend.
Yes.
So, where there was a lot on stake, so they just have to continue with it.
Speaking of big games, there's another coming up next weekend, of course, for Orlando Pirates against Kaizer Chiefs, who crashed out of club competition at the weekend. Now, as just dilly-dallied on the ball too much there. The flag has stayed down here. What a challenge. Oh my goodness. What does the referee say? He says he got the ball. Oh my goodness. That is some high risk defending, but wow. I tell you, that could easily have gone so wrong. The Sundowns tried to play the offside trap there, but the flag stayed down and Maswanganyi was in on goal, but the recovery tackle there, we'll see it in a moment. Could be a chance here. Brian Leon! Oh, from one end to the other, from nearly conceding, they go and score at the other end. It's 3 goals in 3 matches for Brian Leon.
And we spoke earlier about the inclusion of Santos into the team. We spoke about the creative spark that he has to bring into the team, the one that has been missing when he was suspended. When you see this goal, you look at his pass, you look at the run, you look at the delay also, because the London Pirates are trying to play also that high line. You look at the run that this man, Leon, has to make, and for Santos to be able to find him, but also he still had work to do inside the box to be able to control and finish at an awkward angle. You see here the patient build up, but look at where Santos finds himself. Out wide, creating space, realizing that in the middle it's too congested. But look at the time that he's buying. Look at Leon making that run, because Siema also plays the one side, but he still had a lot of work to do.
Oh, what a finish.
Yeah.
What a finish. And they take the lead. The Mamelodi Sundowns, Brian Leon, the Colombian. And it's a wonderful finish there. I suppose you put it the one place where you could have actually scored. But Sipo Chain had covered the near post.
Yeah.
That's an excellent finish. That's 3 goals in 3 premiership matches for Leon. And of course, he scored now in back-to-back matches as well, having scored at the weekend. And now, Pirates find themselves having to chase the game.
And also, maybe just to speak of the magnitude of the game, TT, it is a game of small margins. You look at all of the number of chances that they had when able to punish. Of course, Ronald Williams was the biggest culprit in terms of making these type of saves. But look at those Mamelodi Sundowns, one opportunity, real clear goal-scoring opportunity, they're able to punish. Look at here, this is the man also that anticipated that ball, but here, Tito, I think the poor touch as well, just allowed Ndamani to be able to make that type of tackle. But you rightfully said, anything could have gone wrong here, but the referee alluded us, then he got to the ball first.
That is an excellent tackle actually from Kurban Ndamani. And then in the end, he took man as well, but it got ball first. And Chabani, to be fair to referee Alfred Chabani, he was well placed to make that call. Confirmation of the score there. Leon in the 37th minute of the game gives Mamelodi Sundowns, the defending champions, the lead. Now that makes things interesting. And makes this interesting because we have a game on our hands here, because Pirates will have to come now and chase the game.
Yeah, and then, but they've been in this situation again before in the first round, TT, where Mamelodi Sundowns led with Peter Chadivile, but they're able to come back. But yet again, this is very, very different. Looking at the, the standings on the log, it becomes very, very different. But yet again, we'll see as to the end. Will they still be able to counter-press? That is Orlando Pirates.
There's that swing I was talking about. 6-point swing. You win, and it's a 3-point gap. Lose, and the gap is now 9 points suddenly to Mamelodi Sundowns, to Orlando Pirates. So there's a lot at stake here. Jaden Adams. Kurizumdao. Santos. It's a fabulous pass to pick out Brian Leon. Space here for Aubrey Mutiba down this right-hand side. Looks to slip in Ryan. Whoa! Leon on the double. Aubrey Mutiba with a fabulous pass to slip him in. And this is super quality stuff. This is ruthless stuff from Mamelodi Sundowns. The champions are turning it on. LFNP Stadium. Ronald Williams has run the length of the field to come and bow down before the Colombian, forming his own cartel. The mental Medellin.
4 goals in 4 days. What? Such a great run from Leon. Again, we spoke about his characteristics as a player that really, really likes to make those type of runs over the shoulder with enough space and time with Mamelodi Sundowns in that midfield. Look at Aubrey also hugging the line, also on the right-hand side of Orlando Pirates, but look at the run that he makes behind Siema yet again. Unable in the first instance where Sibisi was able to cover him, but this time around, I think this brilliant ball being played by Modiba. Look at this man, making sure that he gets into that tackle.
We have seen 2 quality goals. The construction and the finish. High quality stuff. What a find this man is proving to be for Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, Orlando Pirates suddenly find themselves 2 goals down. Islam Wadu hasn't been in this situation many times. Having to chase the game, they've only conceded first in a game on 2 occasions.
You're right, TT. I mean, this is a team that doesn't concede much, really, and they're really not a team that we got too accustomed to see them, chasing the lead. And it's going to take a lot out of them to be able to come back into a two-goal deficit. To that, Mamelodi Sundowns will try and control the tempo of the game, slow it down, defend with the ball. So it's going to be very, very challenging for Orlando Pirates players to be able to come back. But they do have the quality. We've seen the quality.
Yes, Matthews now. But Sema will get there first this time. And they've given away possession again. Orlando Pirates could be trouble here. As a Leon look to turn provider. Still Sundowns in possession. Orlando Pirates, or rather Mamelodi Sundowns, have not won back-to-back matches away from home all season. The last time they managed back-to-back wins away from home was in May. Can they hold on here, or can Pirates produce a spectacular comeback? Remember, they were down a goal when they last met. Victoria there, out with young Cameron Danson producing an absolute corker of a goal to level the score. Both goals came in the first half in that game, by the way, as well. As Modiba looks to glide past Bilibili. We are approaching half-time as well here. Here we come now. Tashik Matthews. Tapelo Morena. A rare opportunity to see Tapelo Morena and Kuriso Mudau starting. And same game, generally they replace each other.
Yeah, but also with, throughout the season, we've seen Tapelo Morena being able to occupy too many positions.
Here is Modiba. Can he? Oh, Sinam's on the hammer, but Bilibili wasn't fooled as Matthews sees his eyes lit up as the ball bobbled in front of him, but put way too much on it. Orlando Pirates. There's Siboche. We're going to have a minimum of 3 minutes. That's the confirmation from our fourth official, Abraham Mashala. When conceding first, which has only happened on 3 occasions this season. They've lost, it's happened only on 2 occasions this season that they've conceded first Orlando Pirates, and they've lost 1 and drawn 1. It's in the premiership. In cup competitions, they did concede first 3 times, and they lost 2. They drew 2 and lost 1 of those matches. That's Pirates that I'm referring to. So they are having to show their powers of recovery here. The team not accustomed to trading. For Sundowns, from a Sundowns perspective, this is the 11th time they've scored first in a game in the Premiership this season. They've gone on to win 8 of those matches, drawn 2, and are yet to lose a match when scoring first this season. That shows you their ability to control games, to protect leads, and they've got a very healthy one here at 2-0. But you know that old cliche that football cliche, that is, I'm not sure is rooted in science or fact, that 2-0 is a dangerous lead or a precarious lead. Because the theory goes that you concede 1, and soon the team that just pulls 1 back, suddenly their tails are up and they're buzzing, and before you know it, it's 2-0. Well, Pirates are going to need to try and get a goal soon here. They want to go in at least a 2-1. It's a very different conversation in the dressing room to when you're trading 2-0. Matthews cuts inside. Jaden Adams lets it run, and he gets a return ball! You can see what he tried to do. Poke it just outside with outside of the boot. That's another great passage of play. This is more like the Sundowns we have become accustomed to seeing now. Playing great fluidity to their play.
Exactly, with Santos being the orchestrator there in that midfield, they're able to spot that man, Jaden Adams. I thought maybe could have left it to his left foot because the defender was on his right foot. Just let it be and maybe to try and, but also when he's at the box, to try and maybe take it as quickly as possible.
So ball comes in. Oh! Just trying to put something in it to steer it past. The keeper Maswanganyi, it was popped up in the most advanced position there. Also on the score sheet over the weekend. Got a goal with those. So a little bit.
Runs inside there. Very difficult to be able to track those runners because the onside already have the momentum, and they also, if their pass is equally good as well, it makes the things very, very difficult defensively. But
had some big calls in this first half to make the Jelly Chavani. Alfred Chavani, as he prefers to be called these days, and he blows the whistle for halftime. And goodness, what a first half! What a fascinating first half of football. Entertain you for sure, and it's Sundowns that have been on top, but playing it very differently. And they've hurt Orlando Pirates. I'm almost tempted to say that the signs were there. We saw it against Maruma Gallants that the dangers of getting caught on the break like that are there. But that will be something for our team in studio to discuss at the break. This man also has to take a lot of credit for the situation right now. Made two great saves that could have changed the turn of the way the game was going at that time. So he seems to be on up for it this evening. It's half-time here at FNB Stadium. It's Orlando Pirates 0, Mamelodi Sundowns 2.
Not a natural right back. That's where they were getting more exposed because he touched in too much. Maybe a little bit of a substitution, maybe an original right back maybe can come into the fold and be able to have that. But as to going forward, it's all the chances that you may create in the second half. Make sure that you punish, because you looked as to that how Mamelodi Sundowns punished you with all those two chances that they had. They're able to punish. You had three chances, and of course, Ronald Williams was the metal. He's the one kept them in the game, but you need to be able to be clinical.
We're back underway here at the FNB Stadium. If you've just joined us, my goodness, where have you been? It is Mamelodi Sundowns wearing a yellow. It's Orlando Pirates against underway, no black strip. As Mnyama Ngengani, while Sundowns are wearing the yellow strip and with yellow shirts with white shorts, now attacking the goals to the right of your picture. Well, 7 of their 9 league wins this season for Mamelodi Sundowns. They've come by 2 or more goals, and they have not conceded in 7 of these games. In all 7 where they've been victorious, they have not conceded a goal. That is quite a record. Well, the 3 games that have been played between these two sides this season have all ended in a 1-1 draw. Because 2 of them having been in the MTN 8 semi-finals, and then the premiership clash out at Loftus, and that also in a 1-1 draw. Chance here! Oh my goodness, Putuma rattles the crossbar again. Another great chance from Putuma, and this time denied by the frame of the goal. It's these goals. Deflection, huge deflection. And it's another deflected goal for Tito Maswanganyi. Huge deflection that it took, as it did over the weekend. And there's nothing Ronald Williams could do about that. And wow, just after Putuma rattled the woodwork, that is just what Pirates needed. The early goal.
Yeah, I mean, the early goal. Look at the ball being played. Nice ball being played by Opolis there. Putuma could have done better. And yet again, they're winning that second ball. It still finds them in an attacking position. But Tito again, just taking those chances outside the box. We spoke a little bit earlier. I heard Stiga speaking about the number of goals that Orlando Pirates have scored outside the box. And this man here, Tito, caused with a deflection as well. Just troubled Ronald Williams. But this is the goal that they needed. 80 on to the second half. Just to show intent that they can actually come back into the game. You can see teams that they're trying to block that one. There was nothing there that Ronald Williams could have done.
Goes in back-to-back matches then for Tito Maswanganyi, and he has brought Pirates right back into it. I was just saying how Sundowns, the games that they've won this season, they've kept the clean sheet in all those games that they've won this season. That has changed things a bit now. It was a bit of a sucker punch. Of course, they're always unlucky when you concede a goal by such a heavy deflection.
It comes back to that TT we spoke about earlier. When you asked me, what is it that other parties to do in the circle? Is to make sure that you punish whenever you get your chances. Of course, this came on when Orlando Pirates won the second ball that really got them in also taking place. But for Putuma to be able to miss the ball just under under maybe like 1 minute into the second half, you need to be able to be ruthless in this game to punish. But this man here, back-to-back goals, show his confidence is high now. You will be trying to get more into the ball just to spark some sort of confidence within the team going forward.
5 goals for Patrick Maswanganyi then this season, 6 goal involvements in total, and that will have Pirates now will give them a massive boost of confidence. They needed an early goal. And the early goal was the last thing that Mamelodi Sundowns would have wanted. They would have just wanted to consolidate a little bit and try to build on that lead. And now, they best be careful. Perhaps that old theory about a 2-0 lead is about to be proven yet again. Mamelodi Sundowns might remember in the Champions League, home to Al Hilal Omdurman. Also held to a 2-0 draw in a game that they scored. They twice had the lead, and twice were played back against Al Hilal Omdurman. Ended up drawing that match 2-2-all. Could be John Hotter's in here. Looks like they're going to need something a little bit more special than that to beat Ronald Williams when he's been in the kind of form that he's shown tonight.
I think was caught the offside there. That is Hotto. Really delayed a second just to play Hotto on because he had an opportunity here. It was a little bit earlier on. And then right now you can see that with Mudau holding the line, or Morena rather in that instance, he found Hotto in the offside position.
Just to remind you that Mamelodi Sundowns have not lost a game in which they've scored first this season. And they've had the lead on 10 occasions in their 15 games this season. They've won 8 and drawn 2. Still have a long way to go yet in this one. Really concede first, they conceded 2. Yeah, that's a great ball now to pick out Otto, and the pace of Morena tracking back to help out in defense. You might find himself having to maybe do a lot more defending in the second half because it looks as if Otto is committing forward a lot more at the start of the second half. Other team effort there from them, Tanjena. Neither one thing nor the other, but in the end, goes straight through to Ronald Williams. Last time that Sundowns scored first and went on to lose a match was in March 2022. As well, of course, the Pirates. Both these two sides have a knack for scoring first half goals as well. Sundowns have had 11 goals before tonight in the first half. And as for second half goals, it's Pirates. Both these sides have got a fair share, 11 for Pirates and 13 for Sundowns in the second half. Now picking out Modiba. Turn Matthews. Toss. Pass for Modiba to chase here. Modiba's ball will be plucked out of the air by Sipo Chain. Sipo Chain, who, by the way, has never kept the clean sheet in the game against the London Pirates. Rather against Mamelodi Sundowns since joining the Pirates. Even his days playing for Celtic, he only managed to 1 clean sheet. He managed 1 clean sheet in his times at Wimbledon Celtic in matches against Mamelodi Sundowns. And he was Super Chain playing in his 101st premiership game. Brought up the century against Marumo Gallants at the weekend. Ball there as it starts to bounce, it can go anywhere, and the man just fails to control there. And a very tricky bit of pitch there. They're very sandy. in that corner there. Palace now playing it with Maswanganyi. Almost threading it through from Buchuma. So Palace put on one for Buchuma in that first half by putting a beautiful cross for him.
Also in the second half again, he was also the player that put on that cross to get Buchuma actually hit the upright.
And again, so twice Buchuma could have scored from Oswin Apollo's assist. We would mind as long as they did get the goal from that passage of play. Lorena calling for it, it's a full pass from Brizo Madao. Kaula stopped in his tracks by Tashrik Matthews. Tashrik Matthews, that's sloppy from both teams there. In possession. And again, they fluffed their lines there, Mamelodi Sundowns with that final ball. Now they've got some defending to do because here comes Maswanganyi. There's it with Rele Mofokeng. Maswanganyi keeps his run going. Mofokeng cuts inside. This is where he can be very dangerous when he cuts it onto his left boot, and his right boot as Maswanganyi goes offside.
I think also because he spends such a high confidence that it's Mofokeng. Once you cut in there, you need to be able to pull the trigger. You need to have confidence enough to still continue. If you don't hit the target, but you need to work on it, of course, at training. But those are the areas that, because Mofokeng is one of the superstars that is not given too much time on the ball, especially in those type of areas. But once we have it, you need to be able to pull the trigger just to force a save there from Ronald Williams. But Maswanganyi, again, working very hard in and around that midfield to try and make those runs. Also, maybe, connect as well with Mofokeng and Namtenjela in that midfield.
As we hit 10 minutes of the second half, Oswin Apollos coming alive. He's come alive at the start of the second half. Can he keep that in play? Answer is no. Goal kick. Goal kick, Mamelodi Sundowns. Oswin Apollos was drifting in and out of the game in that first half, but I think he's now starting to grab the game by the scruff of its neck. Sure, Paris fans would like to see more of Rele Mofokeng get on the ball, especially facing the fullback. In possession again here, Pirates. It's another good ball to pick up Buchuma, who's offside this time. Gets into some good positions there to allow for the ball to pick him out. Just a little early there, and Sundowns playing the offside trap. Well, on this occasion, got caught out in the first half when Maswanganyi found himself in on goal when the flag stayed down, but Ronwen Williams produced another brilliant save. To Ronwen Williams. Equally a loss of 2 away games under the Sundowns. Played 8 matches away from home this season, and they've won 3, drawn 4. And suffered just the 1 defeat away from home. So we're told that the attendance tonight is just under 50,000. That's 49,000. Just over 49,000. A very good crowd in for a school night. Cleared away by Siema. Again, brought down by Jaden Adams, who is going to be booked for his trouble. Jaden Adams joins Tebo Mokoena in the book.
He knew he was coming after that tackle. You can see they're just looking away. They knew it was coming.
Three yellow cards so far in the game. Two have gone to Sundowns players. Alfred Chavani, who I think has got most of the calls right in this game, but especially there are a couple of big ones that he had to make. I think he was spot on. Sundowns have scored 48 goals in all competitions this season, in 28 games in all competitions. They have managed to be on the scoreboard in their last 8 games, and as the flag is up again for offside. Yep, just getting caught offside on a couple of occasions here. Need to show a bit more awareness here, be a little bit more clever about how they play this. Not watching their line. As we hit the hour mark here at the FNB Stadium. Orlando Pirates 1, Mamelodi Sundowns 2. Could be problems here as Brian is in. By the way, he's on a hat-trick. But Pirates regroup in defense. Matthews works it wide to Mutiba. And good work there by Makaula to intercept. There's a shot from range, and it'll fall for Morena. But good recovery from Dion Otto there. That was quite a shot.
I mean, it was a range where we've seen Dave pulls the trigger there.
Another yellow here. It's Grant Kekano's furious with the decision, and he'll do well to just calm himself down here. He's been booked already. He'll do well. He'll get a second yellow if he's not careful here. He's calling him back. Grant Kekana could be in trouble here. He says, come here. I think Grant Kekana better count to 10 here. Unless he go for an early shower. In fact, Alfred Chavani there probably showed a lot more leniency than a lot of because he gave him a real mouthful to Grant Kekana. You see what is happening off the ball, and you saw it happening there. Him wrestling Butuma. Now they're going to make a change. Mamelodi Sundowns. We'll get your thoughts in a second now on what needs to what the thinking is from Cardoso as they are preparing to bring on Marcelo Allende. Pirates believe are also going to make a change. It's about that time when you hit the hour mark when the changes happen. Jaden Adams takes out Mokoena. Morel. I believe it'll be Bruno Santos who make way for Marcelo Allende. So this is tactical. I imagine Dico Medisa, but these are two different players. And Sapang Remy is going to come on to give the Sundowns defenders just something else to think about here. That's from Santos from Mokoena. Lamani to Modiba. Good work from Santos here. Extra feet there. Now Jaden Adams can control it. Recovered by Tapelo Murray. We're hearing it'll be Roberto Maswanganyi to make way for Tsepang Moremi. Ryan Leon now. Maswanganyi, this could be his last contribution. Apollos picks it up. Maswanganyi. And interception from Mukwena, but it's still Pirates ball. From King leaves the ball behind for a Sundowns player. Ryan Leon. Double teamed there. And the referee has given a free kick. So the changes will happen now. You don't generally see him get involved in tackles. It's usually on the receiving end of tackles. Now, Allende coming on for Nuno Santos. Your thoughts on that one and the change of, of course, Tsepang Moremi will just inject a little bit of pace down the flanks here. Just your thoughts on these two changes.
I guess from Mamelodi Sundowns' perspective is just to maybe keep more control on the ball, control of the tempo as well, because we know that Allende is one of those players that organizes play, keep things calm, keep things moving, and with that combination of him, Tibbs, and Jaden Adams, that midfield, they'll be able to just keep the ball and just defend with the ball as well. And I think from Orlando Pirates, you're rightfully saying, with Moremi, just inject a little bit of speed going forward, because you need that maybe just to try and manipulate the spaces that Mamelodi Sundowns leave at behind whenever they're going forward. But also, one thing that I've also noticed with Orlando Pirates, they're not pressing high anymore. They're allowing Mamelodi Sundowns to have that ball. And at that then, Mamelodi Sundowns will control the tempo, will slow things down. That will enable Orlando Pirates to be able to, to use those counter, because then they don't, Mamelodi Sundowns is not actually, adding more numbers going forward to leave the spaces behind.
Mutiba gets back to that one first. Now just under 25 minutes remaining. Still a lot of football to be played. Allende. Jaden Adams trying to play it in for Morena. He's looking for the run of Tapulo Morena. Bring it back to Chain and get a bit of pressure there. Brian Leon. Amani. Paul is catching Tewo Mukwena there. And I think he had his eyes on the ball. I think the main was intentional.
He had all his eyes on the ball.
Stays down, does Tewo Mukwena. Well, you know what it is. It's a betway premiership where you make people winners. And a big winner tonight is Justice Pulibat, the Buccaneer there. He might not be smiling at the end of the game because of the result as things currently stand, but he will be smiling all the way to the bank with 20,000 rand because he is a betway account holder. He's got an active account. So he gets the 10,000 bonus. What's this? Oh, he has a corner. He's gone for a corner. A rare visit into the second half into Pirates box for Mamelodi Sundowns. So Mudiba that's lining it up. And it comes and gets a ball and it comes off the crossbar. And then the whistle saw, the referee saw something in there. It was Ndamani that got up for that one. And now has he got the cramps in?
I think he got the cramp there, but it wasn't the money that went up.
Went up very well, actually.
Yeah. Look at that.
Matthews nearly getting in the way of. Oh, the Chain was a beaten man there.
Also, Chain has had a little bit of a touch there with the fingertips. And, we know the Mamelodi Sundowns, it's a team who also that nobody can score via corner kicks. And I don't think Orlando Pirates have conceded a goal via corner kick. So for him, the man to find himself free inside the box, clearly, Orlando Pirates had problems in terms of defending that.
And I think Coach Wadu must get massive credit for that and how Pirates have managed to deal with their frailties at set piece time, especially from corners. Really, that was a shot from Mokoena.
Yeah.
He really got a hold of that one. And reaction from the front men of Sundowns wasn't quick enough. Should have anticipated a bit better.
Yeah, they should have. And also maybe China as well might be a little bit disappointed himself because you'd want to carry it on the side.
Now, Ronald Williams reacted quickest there. Let's see what is indicating about the knee. There's some kind of a signal. As long as Ronald Williams, it's a hard fall there, was Makaula and Ryan Leon. I wonder what language that conversation is happening in. I'd imagine that Ryan Leon's English is very strong. Not yet.
I guess Enga has its own language as well.
The language of anger is universal.
Yeah.
A double change coming for Mamelodi Sundowns, Temba Zwane and Keegan Johannes. Now the two players being prepared, so a defensive change. They're preparing to bring on a defender and, of course, the creative guy, skill of the one they call Shigabala. Msheshe Temba Zwane. Slowly making his way back to fitness. There are the two Bobs in the background. Two Bob, it's Steak and Marawa. Bobby Mutau and Robert Marawa in attendance. So the double change will happen now. And Kurumani Damani, is this himself an injury or what the story here as Nimtangela invites him to hurry up. Helps him off the field and Tashik Matthews gets a man who's the only Sundowns player who started every game this season. Tashik Matthews has been involved in 8 goals, 4 goals and 4 assists and then makes way for Keegan Johannes. So is it too early? As Cardoso says, put your head up. You did well. To let him know that this is tactical. It's not a reflection on his performance. He also gets a. I wonder if he's done himself an injury here because maybe that's what the signal was from Ronald Williams. He doesn't look very comfortable.
Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable. But nonetheless, I think he has done well for the minutes that he has played. And then Johannes as well, that is, we've seen, throughout this season as well, where he's been used as a centre back. So it's new centre back pairing for Kekana and Johannes.
Tuma tangling there with Grant Kekana. Will get the throw in. Tuma. Almost taking it quickly there, Thomas now. It's Billy. Makaula. Running here from Makaula. It's just a difficult. I think that went. Did that stay in? It did stay in, but it's gone out for a throw in. Just it was difficult to control it. The run there. The cramps. It's a signal, isn't it? Looks like it's. I think he's Looks like he's cramping. So here's De Jong, who's about to come on, and who has scored against Pirates in the past. And then we've got 2 goals when Stellies came from behind to beat Pirates. 3-2 actually. They were 2-0 down in that game, and this man now is at the Orlando Stadium. But now he's been captured by the Buccaneers as De Jong. What role does he play? What does he bring into the game now, Tigumbi?
We know what he brings. I don't think there's anything different that he's going to do the way that he plays. He used to play it the Stellies way. He will be trying to manipulate that spaces, just maybe in and around Bituma. And also he's a goal poacher, so when Bituma maybe drags one of the centre backs outside the box, that's where you will see him, Young, getting inside there. But we'll be looking forward to see the combination between him and Mufuke, yesterday, the type of passes that he will be, because De Jong is very, very smart on the ball, very clever, knows how to use the ball very well.
Oswin Apollos is the man that he has replaced. Apollos adding another assist to his number. He is now up to 5 assists. Well, somebody's been watching a lot of CAF Champions League. The green torches are out. One there from Mufuke. John Hortos, Ronald Williams punches it away. Tempaswani. Morena switching to play. Just looking for the run of Brian Leon. Quarter of an hour remaining. Getting into those maximum concentration required now. The next goal will be a massive one. Now, quite a few players there that look like they're cramping out there now. And Brian, wonder how long it will be before we see Shalulile. It seems as if it may be Lebubu Tiba to come on first. Tiba and Van Lunga is the other player, looks ready to come on. And of course, a left back. So there we saw Aubrey Mudiba struggling there a bit, so I guess that's why Lunga is being he's being ready to use. He's going to come on in a second.
It also gets to show us to them the amount of load that the previous game they had against MCR, how you're been, seeing players cramping like this, and playing also a game of this magnitude with so much pressure, so many legs that needs to be put in. So it does really take a toll. Let's see as to that the substitution will keep the tempo there. As for Mamelodi Sundowns, also to be able to keep that lead that they need.
Morena is tracked back there to help out at the back now. All hands on deck. I get the sense that Sundowns have gone rather defensive. Maybe that's why you bring on a Mutiba to offer them a focal point up front and just somebody to keep the defenders busy, because Brian has still run his race and now he picks up a yellow just as he's about to make his way off the field. Zwane takes control, the captain of the situation there. And that's naughty from Leon. Very naughty.
And I think that's not the initial foul that he gets a yellow for. It's the second one after, because this was blown for a foul. And then the ball at the case also fell onto Siema, that he also considered a foul. But this was the goal that he scored, the second goal that he played. I think the brilliant ball being played by Aubrey Mudiba. Siema being unable there just to intercept that ball, but this man, Leon, coming in there with that tackle to make sure that he gets at the end of that ball. Very dangerous ball, very, very difficult ball to be able to defend.
There was some pass from Aubrey Mudiba. And the finish as well was something to behold. So Dunga is on, and Aubrey Mudiba is the man who's gone off. So there's a straight swap there. Mudiba still can walk away. He's off the stretcher now. And Lebo Mutiba comes on for his seventh appearance of the season, his sixth off the bench. And he's got 1 goal so far in the league for Mamelodi Sundowns, the man from Tembisa. That has spent most of his career in Europe, in France in particular. Looking for his first touch of the ball there. Nice little ball over the top, and Butuma could be in here. Tried to control it. Just that first touch got it wrong, but the flag was up again. There's quite a number of times that they've been caught offside. Orlando Pirates, 7 times.
Yeah, because here on, I think he was onside.
I think he was onside. I don't know that he was offside there.
I think he was onside though.
Just miscontrolled the ball there. 7 is quite a high number though of offside. And that's obviously a plan that Sundowns have worked on. There's a player down for Pirates, Bilibili. Is it the cramps there as well? 10 minutes, 9 minutes now to go. As things stand, the gap at the top will close to 3 points. There's 10 minutes to go yet in the game, or just under 10 minutes plus whatever time will be added on by the referee. Billy will make way. Wonder whether he will be replaced. Yep, he might be, because Dino van Rooyen is ready to come on. So what happened with the Billy there? Did you spot anything, or is it just cramps?
I think it's just cramps, so something maybe just happened maybe prior to that, because I didn't spot, I just saw him on the floor. But also bear in mind that he hasn't been playing regular football, and coming to a game like this, so much pressure, so much intensity, such is expected from a player that hasn't played before.
So a double change coming up for Orlando Pirates. Prismo down. Allende plays it with, and they call him Dada. That's Divine Lunga. Just trying to manage the game, as they say. Anyway, the relegation battle game there out in the Cape is at 1-1 now. Magesi have drawn level in that one. Yeah, it's still 2-1. Now, Swane slowed it right down now. The game has slowed right down. Allende There's two players that have been waiting to come on are still there, Royan and Sendami. Referee stops play, and it's going to be, will allow the changes to happen now. The father's given a free kick against Andre de Jong. On comes Dino van Rooyen, who started the game against also another one who's trying to make his way back from injury. And Botuma's races run can count himself a little unlucky not to have been on the score sheet tonight to complete.
Of course, especially in the first half. Of course, we can may forgive him for the second half one, because then Tito Saranya was able to score, but I guess from the first half he had plenty of chances, maybe two of them, could have at least buried one, especially being a player also that has been on the score sheet in a couple of weeks for Orlando Pirates.
And he hit the upright there early in that passage of play that led to the goal by Maswanganyi. It's a free kick for Sundowns to Zimbabwean international set. Two players who had the Nations Cup together, Sendami and Lunga.
They were in camp together in the national team, and Sendani as well, that is yet to really make an impact, still new to the team. A lot is expected from him. Great talent that has been brought into this Orlando Pirates side.
That's the man, well, I tell you, Waju has raided his former club. Nemta Njela, Sendami,
and Chamatani as well.
Chamatani as well, yeah. And now, that's why also Ghanaians are finding themselves really struggling at the minute. They've really been up against it. They've Marumo Gallants, who made it, of course, to the final of the Black Label Cup against Orlando Pirates. They lost to Orlando Pirates. One or two trophies that Pirates have already got in the bag. They are working on two, but they have been shown here tonight that it's not going to be an easy fight for this one. That is the Betway Premiership Trophy. The 15-time champions are not going to let it go without a big fight. Looking for their 9th title in a row. Stembazwani late on De Jong there. He's given away a set piece. Given a free kick in a position that will allow Paris to float the ball into the box here. Tiba is helping out at the back there. Sendami going the wrong way. Space taken up on the left wing. Ofoke, by his normally very high standards, is at a quiet game. Suspicion of offside there, but the referee's flag stayed down. The man goes down there is Sendami. But no big appeals for anything. No.
And also the referee, his positioning as well, not too far from the play.
And I think that's been the case for most of the game. He's been spot on and well positioned to make the big calls. Last 2.5 minutes of this one. Hearing we're going to have a minimum of 3 minutes to be added on at the end of this half. Mamelodi Sundowns have dropped 6 points from winning positions in this season. Only Chippa United and Makesi with 8 have dropped more points. That's an unusual statistic for a team like Mamelodi Sundowns.
Had to show you the difficulties that they've had this season, the challenges that they had to face. But whenever they've been called upon and game of significance, game of such magnitude, they're able to step up and be able to, challenge And this is exactly what they're doing tonight against a high-flying Orlando Pirates.
Orlando Pirates, 14 matches unbeaten coming into this one. Offside yet again, caught offside. I think give credit to Mamelodi Sundowns. They have played that upside trap to perfection.
They remind me of, I think it was Xavi's offside line that he had in Barcelona, where they were ridiculous with that offside line. And you look at here, you need to have so much discipline. You need to have that synergy within the defensive line to be able to know that your front man, the person that you see in front, is the one that holds the line. You can't be holding the line from the back.
So I think it's a plan that's been executed. The happy people till we die. Does not look happy tonight. And to be fair, there's not been much to enthuse about. Look at that, Molaka leads. Friends of Sundowns, says the sign. Now, it's the snapshot there from Allende, but no real power behind it. South African tries to get them going forward. Johannes, he's done well here, Johannes. Now we're hearing it's going to be minimum 4 minutes to be added on. Timbers one. Jaden Adams, Allende, Moren. Not sure what Moren had in mind there, but whatever it was, left a lot to be desired. The coach wasn't too pleased with that either.
I can see that, they're trying to form like a rondo on the side towards the end and Timbuzwani. Maybe also knowing that you have Matiba inside the box, maybe you're trying to also get an advantage of that. Just to maybe have that element of surprise. But it was no pressure there, could have kept the ball.
Won it back. Again, some frustrations continue. As I said, it has not been his night. Come up against the very determined Mamelodi Sundowns side here tonight of Orlando Pirates. He knew there's a lot at stake here. They had to stand up. As Van Rooyen can't get it past Lunga. Allende. He's got Makaula clipping at his heels there. Foul goes against Makaula. That'll take more seconds off the clock. It was not Makaula, but it was Moreni. Marcelo Allende, who's come on and actually done exactly what we thought he might do. To control things a little bit there and allowed Sundowns to control possession in midfield. Absalom Wadu, I think, will be the first to admit that, yeah, he's been outfoxed. Sundowns took control of the game very early on, and to be fair, except for the moment when they lost, when they conceded, and after a couple of spells that Pirates had, Sundowns never really lost the grip of this game.
Yeah, they didn't, but also because it is a game of small margins. Once you have your type of opportunities, you need to be able to punish. Because once Mamelodi Sundowns started, scoring, really now, the advantage now leans more towards them, and it limits Orlando Pirates going forward. And I guess with those two early on chances, if Orlando Pirates punish, then it's a total different conversation.
Van Rooyen. Now Makaula. Comes back to Makaula. Oh, mistake by Makaula. Has given away possession here. Timbuzwani. They'll just keep it there now. Just want to keep it in the Pirates' half of the field. Makaula. Approaching with caution. And then he's giving away the free kick now. Just what Timbuzwani wanted. Very clever play there from the wily Timbuzwani. Timbuzwani featuring in only his 8th match of the season. Friends off in attendance here. A little bit awkward to see. Ronwen Williams sends a long one forward. Well, the tough games just keep coming. It's up next for Pirates in the premiership will be Kaizer Chiefs, the big Soweto derby, live on your World of Champions. Comprehensive build-up, and we're gonna, as always, it's a big occasion, that one, and there's a lot at stake again. This now, well, for the first time in a while, a Soweto derby with plenty at stake. Mutiba just gone too early. Mutiba too early with that run, and just offside. We have the 4 minutes is up again according to our clock, and Mr. Shavani looks at his watch and confirms that 4 minutes is up on his clock as well. It's job done. Mamelodi Sundowns, an embattled Mamelodi Sundowns, crazy that I should say, an embattled Mamelodi Sundowns, given that they're second on the table. But tonight, they've come out with a statement win. Tiko Modise.
It was a statement win indeed. It was a 6-pointer for both teams. You look at Orlando Pirates coming into this game as a team that had carried the momentum. You win this game, you open up a little bit of a gap, you give yourself enough room against your arch rivals, which is Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns coming from a back, over the weekend, a very, very tough game against FCL in the Champions League. Coming into this game knowing that you can't afford to lose this game, they had to step up, and those opportunities that they had, Leon was able to be able to punish just to narrow the gap, to keep the league exciting. This is how it looks right now.
So much love and so much respect. Of course, what you are looking here, essentially, we've been watching the national team, Bafana in action, so the players very familiar with one another here, but that's what it means on the table then. Pirates suffer only their second defeat at home. It is their first defeat in 15 matches now. Most impressive as Lebo Mutiba takes the opportunity to practice his French there with Awadu. And it's really been a massive, massive win for Sundowns. It is a 4th win in 9 matches on the road. And for this man, I think he'll be very satisfied with what he's seen here tonight. He has plotted and come up with a perfect plan and well executed by his players. And he's poker-faced because he knows there'll be many battles up front. But the 6-pointer, it was a blockbuster. It was the marquee fixture in the Betway Premiership. It has delivered. The champions